هلا عبود هلا عبود هلا.
Straight out of family court. Crazy motherfucker named Punisher. From the gang called Parents with Attitudes. When I'm called in, I got a warrant check. But these CPS bitches still try to snatch kids.
Yo, fuck the CPS coming straight from the underground. A family man get respect in my town, but these caseworkers hate when we stand up proud. Snatching kids for quotas, yeah, that's how they get down. Searching my house without a warrant in hand. Lying in reports, got the judge and they plan. Fabricate the danger, say the kids ain't safe while they trafficking babies for federal pay. You think you above the law, bitch, you ain't God. We record every visit, expose every fraud. Fuck with my family, get your career erased. Parents with attitudes, putting fear in your face.
Fuck the CPS, 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 fuck the CPS.
They got the power to take your seed, but we got the power to make them bleed.
Fuck the CPS, fuck the CPS.
Here's a little story about a worker named Trish. Lied on the stand, got my daughter dismissed. Said the house was dirty, said I smoked that green, but the drug test came back cleaner than they dreams. False allegations coached the kids to lie. Now they in foster care, getting molested at night. System getting bonuses every time they remove, while real abusers walk. That's the fucking truth. We ain't taking this shit lying down no more. Upload the docs, let the Punisher score. Analyze the lies, hit them back in court. Parental rights, that's what we fight for.
Fuck the CPS, fuck
the CPS,
fuck the CPS, fuck
the CPS,
fuck the CPS, fuck
the CPS.
They got the power to take your seed, but we got the power to make them bleed.
Fuck the CPS,
fuck the CPS.
The revolution coming, better run and hide. Every Terminator parent riding on the side. From California to Maine, we connecting the dots, exposing the corruption, connecting the plots. CPAs think they untouchable, think again. We got recordings, witnesses, and the truth as a friend. App in your pocket, analyze they lives. The Punisher rising, watch the system die.
Fuck the CPS.
Parents with attitudes, we ain't going nowhere.
When CPS comes, they take everything, and you are left alone in the dark. But the angry citizen knows your rights. Becca watches every move they make. The CPS Punisher has faced this fight before, and Tiff, she never lets go. Together, they bring the light back home. Join the Tiff and The Punisher family. We fight together.
No one has a thing to say for those who have been.
The shadows where justice burns. Tiff and the Punisher. Rise.
Street lights flicker, the city's on fire. Tiff walks the line with a cold desire. Punisher's shadow, the hammer falls hard. No mercy for evil, they're playing their card. Through the alleys of pain and the rivers of blood, they hunt down the guilty, they're the judge and the flood. But every war needs a mind that can see, a voice in the chaos that cuts to the core. Tiff and the Punisher carving the night, punishing sinners beneath the pale light. Becca steps in with that smart-ass grin, brainiac queen, always right from within. She's figuring out the world one fact at a time, calling out the lies with a razor-sharp mind. You think you're clever? Watch me prove you wrong. Becca's in the mix, and the truth marches on. spectacle storm, smart ass remarks that keep the whole team reformed. Equations and evidence, she's cracking the code, while the Punisher's bullets write the final ode. Tiff holds a line with the fearless command. Together they're unstoppable, a punishing band. Becca won't rest till the puzzle is solved. She's right every time and the problem's resolved. When the world's gone mad and the answers won't bend, she'll dissect the chaos and break it again. Smart ass brainiac, queer the fight. Tiff and the Punisher on the night. Tiff and the Punisher carving the night, punishing sinners beneath the pale light. Becca steps in with that smart ass grin. Brainiac queen, always right from within. She's figuring out the world one fact at a time, calling out the lies with a razor sharp mind. You think you're clever? Watch me prove you wrong. Becca's in the mix, and the truth marches on. Tiff and the Punisher. Becca's got the answers. Justice never sleeps.
Hey, Tiff. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you. I was so beat last night. I was done. I was over it. I was asleep.
Sometimes queens need the night off.
Woo. So my husband says, "Oh, we're gonna cook on the grill." I'm like, "Great!" So I'm like, "Yay, he's gonna cook." Yeah, right. I was working 2 grills, the oven. It was terrible. I was beat.
I know the feeling of cooking. I used to be a cook. Did you know that?
Yeah, you told me.
Oh, well,
It's
I'm just telling
hard.
you. I was a chef for a lot of years. I used to run 5 restaurants at one time.
Oh no, heck
I ran the
no.
kitchen. 5 restaurants at one time. Yep, sure did.
Running 2 grills in an oven was enough for me.
Yeah, we'd be plating 750 meals a night. It was a hell of a kitchen. It was tough.
I have a hard enough time planning dinner.
Right? I can't even get all my stuff out at the same time.
No.
Yeah, no, I love kitchen was always my fallback stuff. You know, like if I needed to get some work or whatever, I would go to the kitchens. It's good work. Good honest day's pay, but it's a pain in the ass and it's tiring and it's very frustrating and you have no life.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, that's how that one works. So, what's going on with you? Anything that we were going to talk about before we bring out the mouth of the South?
No, we actually need to bring her out because she was doing a check on the Supreme Court ruling that I found today.
Oh, all right. Let me get her here. I'm just looking for something real quick.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's see here. So I was thinking that if I can pull this up right.
She said let her know. She'll let you know.
Oh, she's gonna let us know when she wants
Yeah,
to.
because that's. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was dealing
Your
with
screen
kids.
is black. There you go.
Right. So come on now, this technology. You know what? I feel so naked tonight. I don't even know where my phone is, so I know we can't have Aura tonight.
Oh my.
With Aura, I mean, maybe if I had a tablet, I might be able to do it, but I've never used Aura on the tablet. But what is oh my god! So what's going on with the Supreme Court, ladies?
So the Supreme Court, Tiff can tell what the Supreme Court did, and I'll elaborate on it.
So the
Okay.
way I read it was
Pull it up too.
the Supreme Court of the United States came out and said that a police officer, if they believe there is imminent danger, and there's a couple other things, Becca can go over those because I didn't get into all of them, but it struck me with imminent danger that they can literally come in your house without a warrant, because one part of it was like paperwork takes time, um, warrants take time. It's just something to that effect. And what really struck me was, if CPS comes and they have the police and they're convincing enough to make an officer believe that there's imminent danger in that house, the police can now kick your door in. Is that the way I read it? Did I read it correctly?
So it says that police officers may enter a home without a warrant if they have objectively reasonable basis for believing an occupant is seriously injured or imminently threatened with serious injury. They do not need traditional criminal law probable cause in an emergency aid situations.
Yeah, I thought that's been an old thing. I thought that that's always been a thing. If the police need, if they feel like you're in danger, that they just use their uh,
Police their
discretion.
judgment.
Yeah, their discretion or their judgment. Like if they see you dead inside, they need to get in there to save your life. I thought they could kick the door open. But yeah, can you imagine if you decide not to show them your kids, and then they say your officers, we're worried about these kids' lives, and they now can just come and bust your fucking door down? That's disgusting. And I feel like that's where that reach is going for that. Like that's what they're trying to do, because what's our number one defense right here, right now? Like if we all instruct, we all teach, we all let people know, what do we say? Don't let them in. They don't have a warrant. Get the fuck off the porch, go home. Well, now they're finding a way to put their little asses right in front of that, argument that we have, that we make. And they're saying no, because it's imminent, because the whole thing is imminent danger. You doing drugs as a parent isn't imminent danger. None of these things are imminent danger that they're taking our kids for. And imminent danger, the deal is once the danger has been resolved, you're supposed to have your kids back.
Yeah.
There is no imminent danger in any of these situations. Holy shit, Tiff. Your boy got a fucking dime size, half a degree burn on his arm. And this is imminent danger that this mandated reporter needed to make a phone call to start all this bullshit with you. Now, where the fuck was the imminent danger here? Where was it?
Exactly. And here's the thing. Now, and it even says in domestic violence cases, if I read that correctly, if somebody is whooping my ass inside my house, I'm going to tell you, just kick the front door. And if I can't get to, just kick it in anyway.
Yeah. Right. If I'm getting murdered, come in.
Right. If I'm getting murdered, somebody's beating me, somebody's threatening my family, and I can't get to my kitchen, because I'm going to tell you, if I get to my kitchen, there are going to be a lot of dead people in my house. Because I do have the right to bear arms. I just don't own a gun. But 9 times out of 10, if somebody is in need, they will tell you to kick their door in, right? That's a common sense thing. If you know the police are outside and they're worried if they're going to get in trouble if they kick the door in, yell, kick the door in. But now, since this ruling came out today, the minute I saw imminent danger, I said, this is some bullshit. Because I'm telling you, that bitch that stood outside my house tried to get these 12 officers to breach my door. Okay? The only saving grace is we had a doctor's release form. I mean, whatever you sign when you leave the hospital or whatever. That was the only saving grace. I'm telling you, because she was like, oh, we're scared for his life. Oh, he ingested CBD gummies. No, nobody said he really ate them. We said we suspected. Well, I said he ate them, but I wasn't there, so I don't know. To find out that he never ate them, they fell behind the refrigerator. But even that night, I told you all, I pushed my chair up to my front door, because I said, if they kick my door in, they're going to knock me out of my chair, and I'm going to wake up.
But it does say on here that the court distinguished two concepts. So I guess it did end up, it says emergency aid exception is allowed. So officers may enter a home without a warrant to prevent death or serious bodily harm. The standard is objective reasonable basis. Now the community caretaking doctrine, which is what I know most of that was about, because it's limited. So the police do not have a broad, open-ended authority to enter home simply to perform welfare functions. Probable cause requirement, which isn't required here. The court said probable cause is primarily a criminal investigation standard and should not automatically be imported into emergency aid situations. So the decision does not create unlimited authority for police, CPS, or government agencies. The court repeatedly emphasized the Fourth Amendment still strongly protects the home. Warrantless entry is still presumably unreasonable, and this exception is narrow. Entry must be tied to an actual emergency involving imminent danger or serious injury. Officers may
They're
only
just gonna lie about it though. They're just gonna fucking
I
lie.
know, to address
That's
the
all they
emergency.
They didn't let us see the kids. We were worried. We had a call. The mandated reporter said this, blah, 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 blah. They wouldn't let us in. Police kicked the door in. Now they're going to arrest the parents. They're going to arrest the parents now because they're going to say that they refused to let them have access to the children. So they were putting the kids in harm's way. And there's their neglect now. Now they've actually got an imminent danger situation because of all of this. Like they're creating this perfect storm. Again, they're allowing this to happen. This is our government, fast at work, coming to the defense of what we are all learning and teaching everybody to do. And CPS's cash cows aren't available to them as much because the cops hate them, love them, or whatever. Well, no, let's just say hate them and whatever. They're starting to understand that they can't do the things that they've been doing to us. And whether it's conscience, whether we're getting more of these cops that come over from, they've come over from fighting for our country. And they're like, damn, no, we're not coming in and just stamping on these people's rights. Whatever it is, they aren't validating and enforcing this stuff the way that they want them to. So now they're giving them a reason to make it so, because now a CPS caseworker will say they're on the phone. The mandated reporter said that this, and this. We don't have contact with the kid. We don't know what's going on inside. Police, you need to open that door.
Well, I plan on, when I'm at the courthouse tomorrow, I plan on stopping by the sheriff's department while I'm at the courthouse, because his office is in the courthouse. I've already sent him this bill or this case, and I do want to talk to him because I do not want police officers kicking in doors because CPS says so. Who the fuck is CPS?
Well, they've given them the police powers, so I mean, that's where they're gonna fray on that, because it even then comes to say, it says from what you've previously it says in relation to CPS situations. So right, it says like in my example, CPS came to my house 2024. I refused them entry and then asked if they had a warrant, and instead they obtained an emergency removal order and removed my kids. It said the Supreme Court case would not automatically justify those actions. The legal question would still be, was what specific established imminent danger? What evidence existed at the moment? Why was the emergency removal necessary instead of seeking a warrant? Was there time to pursue less restrictive alternatives? And was the emergency order supported by sworn evidence? If the only basis was that you exercise your Fourth Amendment rights by refusing entry, that alone would not establish exigent circumstances.
They're going to lie, though. They're going to lie.
But we have body cameras now, thank God, fortunately.
And they can shut them off.
Yeah, and that's a problem because from what I've been told, all body cams are to be on when they're dealing with members of the public.
Yep.
And if their body cams are off, then we have another problem.
Mm-hmm. Because the body cam is supposed to protect them and us.
Correct. So if an officer's doing some cruddy shit and he turns off his body cam, you should really wonder about that officer, and you should try to have him put on the Brady list.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Warrantless entry legal objectively.
So this is called the this is the case versus Montana
versus Supreme Court.
Yeah, case versus Montana.
Yeah.
Certiorari to the Supreme Court of Montana.
Mm-hmm. William Trevor Case versus Montana.
Says in Brigham City versus Stewart, 547 U.S. 39848, the court held that the Fourth Amendment allows police officers to enter a home without a warrant if they have an objectively reasonable basis for believing that someone inside needs emergency assistance. In this case, Montana police officers responded to the home of petitioner William Case after his girlfriend called 911 to report that he was threatening suicide and may have shot himself. The officers knocked on the doors and yelled into an open window. Got no response. They could see an empty handgun holster and something that looked like a suicide note inside. They ultimately decided to enter the home to render emergency aid. When one officer approached the bedroom closet in which Case was hiding, Case threw open the closet curtain while holding an object that looked like a gun. Fearing that he was about to be shot, the officers shot and injured Case. An ambulance was called to take Case to the hospital, and officers found a handgun next to where Case had stood. Now, first of all, an ambulance was called to take him to the hospital. Weren't you already going there for a suicide? Maybe you should have already had an ambulance there. Just saying.
Right.
Officers found a handgun next to where Case had stood. Okay, it seems a little bit fishy. Case was charged with assaulting a police officer. Case moved to suppress all evidence obtained from the home entry, arguing the police violated the Fourth Amendment by entering without a warrant. The trial court denied the motion, and jury found Case guilty. A divided Montana Supreme Court upheld the officer's entry as lawful under Montana's caretaker doctrine, rejecting the contention that an officer must have probable cause to believe that an occupant needs emergency aid. Held Brigham City's objective reasonableness standard for warrantless home entries to render emergency aid applies without further gloss and was satisfied in this case. Searches and seizures inside a home without a warrant are presumptively unreasonable. Under the Fourth Amendment, Brigham City, warrant requirements is subject to certain exceptions, Lang versus California, including the need to render emergency assistance. The court first approved a warrantless home entry to render emergency assistance in Brigham City, holding that officers may enter when they have an objectively reasonable basis for believing that an occupant is seriously injured or imminently threatened with such injury. The Montana Supreme Court's opinion below strayed from that rule. Most important, the emergency aid test is incorporated in Montana's caretaker doctrine, evokes the Fourth Amendment standard of reasonable suspicion that applies to relatively non-invasive street stops. But Brigham City adopted a different standard for home entries. Goes on and on and on. So you can see where this is going to be the issue that we're talking about, that they're going to be able to just say that there's imminent danger inside. We're not going to do this bullshit anymore of going to get a warrant and all that because we know there's imminent danger inside. We're going to kick your fucking door in and take your kid.
Well, if I was a police officer and CPS called me out and said there was imminent danger, they would have to prove to me that somebody's life or limb is in danger, okay? Because I did have a police officer ask me one time, well, what is their definition of imminent danger? I said it doesn't matter what their definition is. The definition by law is life or limb.
Depends on what the definition is to you.
Imminent danger means bombs blowing up. Sorry, Tiff. Ambulances. Catastrophe. Body parts. Blood. Death.
Flying.
Yes.
Bomb.
Shrapnel. All kinds of bad things. Bullets going off. A war zone. All hell's breaking loose. Bring everybody. Bring them all. Bring everything you can. The entire city needs to fucking get here because shit's happening. Not, I've got a dime-sized burn on an arm of a kid here that just went to the doctor.
Or not, I refuse to allow you into my house without the warrant, and they're going to just get an emergency removal order.
Right. Well, here's
when they
the
tell
thing.
you they're going to get a warrant.
CPS does not have policing powers. Okay? They do not. Anybody can investigate anybody. I can investigate whomever I want. That's not against the law.
No.
Criminal investigation should be done by the police. Okay? So this is where my dad was having a whole fit. Tiffany, they have accused you of a crime. Not only have they accused you of a crime, they accused you of covering up a crime. Now, I bet you if they go to the prosecuting attorney with the evidence that he went to the doctor, the
Mm-hmm.
prosecuting attorney is going to say, "Why are you here?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they do. They collab. I mean, the MOUs specifically say that they can collaborate with the prosecutor, and it's like, well, wait a minute here. Like, when my dad died, perfect example. When my dad died, okay, I had went and withdrawn money out of his bank account, and they tried to, and then like 10 months later, they came to my house because my sister had to close his bank account, and they came to my house. A detective did, and said that I had unauthorized use of property. But I had used that money as for his final expenses. He was being cremated. Cost me almost $3,000. Well, that $800 and some dollars that I took out of his bank account, I used it to that. He took it to the prosecutor. He's like, well, we'll see about that. He took it to the prosecutor. The prosecutor told him, there ain't nothing we can do. She used it for his final expenses. Like, but still, I mean, I'm like, why would you take it to the prosecutor? You're seriously going to try and charge me with something that I used his own money for? Like, that makes no sense.
They weren't going to kick your door open for it, though.
Oh, I thought that detective was going to.
God damn, that's ridiculous. See, this
banging
is the
on my door. Like, I mean, he is the police. I was going to say like the police, but I mean, he is
that's
the
the
police.
worst. That's the worst thing when you hear that boom, boom,
boom, boom, boom, boom. Oh, I know.
And if someone's coming to your door knocking like that, then you get their ass off your porch. Don't you ever come to my house knocking like that?
Well, first of all, they better have a warrant, period, unless I call them. See, here's the problem with this case. The girlfriend called them.
Yeah,
right?
she wasn't
so
there.
But she had to at least have some clothing or something there, because if the police come to your house because somebody else called them, you literally have the right to tell them to get off your property and go talk to the person that called you. And all you have to say is, I didn't call you. Go talk to the person that called you. I don't want you here. But again, if somebody's whooping your ass and somebody calls the police and you can't get to your kitchen or whatever you guys use, by all means, tell the motherfuckers to kick the door in. Shit.
Right.
I don't know if you guys
that's
saw the comment.
Sense.
I don't know if you guys saw the comment on the bottom.
Shut up, Darren.
Yep, read that one out loud, Becca.
I'm not reading it out loud. I'm not inflating your ego.
Darren,
you're so right.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Darren's not the one that's always right.
From the opinion of the court, this is from in Brigham City versus Stewart. It says, this court held that police officers may enter a home without a warrant if they have an objectively reasonable basis for believing that someone inside needs emergency assistance. The question presented is what standard means that officers must have probable cause for the intrusion, as they typically would when investigating a crime. We hold it does not. The probable cause requirements is rooted in and derives in meaning from the criminal context, and we decline to transplant it to this different one. Brigham City's reasonableness standard means just what it says, with no further gloss, and here it was satisfied because the police had an objectively reasonable basis for believing that a homeowner intended to take his own life, indeed, may already have shot himself. The opinions, the facts of the 911 call, the ex-girlfriend's account of threats and a gunshot sound, officers' observations, empty holster, possible suicide note, their decision to enter after 40 minutes, and the subsequent confrontation, it clarifies that the emergency aid exception does not require probable cause, but an objectively reasonable belief of serious injury or an imminent threat. The court rejected both the Montana Supreme Court's community caretaker framing, to the extent it diverged, and the petitioner's push for a probable cause requirement, emphasizing that the standard is context specific to public safety rather than criminal investigation.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens. But I tell you what, somebody's going to have to knock me out of my chair because I'll sleep in front of that motherfucking door.
Oh, Tiff, I could see the video already. I'm already seeing the video of you. Hey, I got my phone. I'm already seeing the damn thing.
Yeah.
So let's not ask for that. Henry,
So
what do you,
I was talking to Gunner today because I sent it to him too,
Henry must want to
and
come in and talk about this.
he said that, oh, where's my phone? He said a case stops them.
Yeah, good
Let me
luck
see.
when they're kicking your door in, though. Look, you can have a case law and all the shit you want and be in court. Good luck when them guys got that battering ram and they're coming full fledged into your kitchen.
Right?
You think they give two shits about a piece of paper you have in your phone? That phone's gonna be
No.
smashed and broken on the floor.
Yeah, we live in reality, guys, not in the context of
Right. Stop.
case
I
law.
have
I mean, if
case
you're
law.
screaming case law at him, oh,
Right.
you think case law is going to stop him? Really?
These guys are
You're
full
screaming at him?
Red Bull adrenaline, junked out, ready to kick your ass, full adrenaline push. And you think you're gonna be like, Hayward versus Mayward. Woo, woo, woo. You think they're gonna stop? Bullshit. They ain't even gonna hear your ass. All they're gonna hear is go, 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 and bodies
Yeah.
hitting the floor in their helmets.
No, I get it.
Where they always
Trust
tell
me,
you to
I'm
argue it in
concerned
court.
about this. It's white. It's White versus Pierce County. Covers CPS needs a warrant by law.
Mm-hmm.
But we know this, right? We know this. The problem I have with this is 99% of the time these motherfuckers come with the police. All they have to say is, I believe that this child is in imminent danger or there's exigent circumstances. You must breach the door. That's the problem that I have with this.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like even in my case in 2024, like it even in the report, okay, in the actual CPS report, they literally stated on there that because the kids, like once they got the emergency removal order, the kids like they didn't want to go, so they were refusing to go, so they were in my room and they kept like coming back here. Well, then all of a sudden CPS even admitted that officer entered the home to check on the children without my permission, without anybody's permission, and lied and said that, oh, we were coaxing them into telling them not to go. I'm like, oh, okay, really? I'm like, well, he like his job. I'm like, so keep it up. But they even put this is in a court record. I'm like, oh, like that's not very smart.
Wow.
Here's Henry. Henry must have something to say because he called me in the middle of the show. So let's see what Mr.
Why does my Tuesday night always end up with somebody else's topics?
Hey guys.
Hey, Henry.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm on my phone, and you know how that I feel about that crap. But I was gonna watch you guys on Facebook, and there was no posting of it.
Oh, well, we're on it. I can see it right here.
All right. Well, I don't know. I typed on breaking news, CPS breaking news, and typed on you, and never got the notice. But how's everybody tonight?
Good.
Well,
How are
good.
you
I
doing?
thought you wanted to jump in on this conversation. Yeah, it says I'm live right now.
No, don't even know what the conversation is.
Oh, for Christ's sakes, Henry. Well, it's Becca's day, so let's go back to Becca Day. Henry.
Oh, it's Becca Day? What's
It's
Becca
Day? That's right. Well, thanks, Henry, for the update. Well, we're live right now, buddy, so check out the show. Let us know what you think about this topic.
I guess I gotta go watch it over on YouTube because it doesn't make sense to me why I couldn't find it on Facebook.
I'm right there. Go to my Facebook. Go to Fight CPS. It's there.
That's all right.
Probably if he's on portrait view, it's probably. I don't think it's connected.
No, it's on regular view. I'm looking right at it.
It's on landscape.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's right there. We're here.
Yeah, I see it. The first one says Facebook.
So
Maybe
what's
it's
up
just
with Becca Day?
Becca Day. Oh, it's stipulation day.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this last night, which I talked into it a little bit about.
I saw it last night's show. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just more or less. Tonight was just supposed to be the basis of how. What was it, Darren? The process of how or when to recognize. I guess it would be.
Oh yeah, how are we going to recognize and what are you going to do to stop this?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can stop talking about the Supreme Court now and go to Becca's stuff. Because go ahead, Becca.
No, it was just pretty much because like I was trying to describe it last night. The basis of like when, because Darren was like, well, when does it happen? Like, and essentially, it's literally at the adjudication period.
And how do you stop it? Right.
And yeah, and how do you stop it? Like, and you can, I mean, knowing your rights, I mean, is one way you can stop it. But CPS, I mean, your attorney, you can clarify with your attorney, one, that ask them if they stipulated for you, because that's what they're doing. And that's what the court doesn't. I know the court probably realizes what they're doing, but we're gonna say that they don't realize what they're doing, because even the judge himself is supposed to, him or herself is supposed to be the ones to question the person who's been brought before them if they were explained completely in whole their rights by their attorney. They make for sure that their attorney is doing their job. Okay, now I got my transcript from that day a while back, and well, I got the audio, but then I transcribed it myself. But I was literally listening to it because my attorney had told me, like, hey, just, you know, when the judge asks, you know, any questions the judge asks, to say yes. Literally, the only 2 words I spoke were yes, ma'am, in the whole proceeding. Every question she asked me, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I wasn't even hearing what she was saying, essentially. Like, because I'm like sitting here and it takes that trauma has you so tuned off that you're just, yes, ma'am. Like, literally, those were the only words I said the whole hearing. To multiple questions she asked me, she says, "Do you know?" She asked me, like, you're aware that you're giving up your right to a trial? Yes, ma'am. Like, I was like a robot. But, like, and I get why people do that, but those questions that the judge you're asking are essential and they're important. That's for sure.
Does it have anything to do with being in fear, or your attorney saying don't piss off the judge or don't make problems? Or
my attorney didn't say that. I mean, I know the other people's attorney probably,
I had it done to me.
Yeah. You know, so I mean, it's more like they don't want to piss off the judge because, well, they have to work with them every day. But us as parents
also get
I don't work with them.
Henry, you're still here. I just took your video off.
Oh. I'm like, where'd he go?
I was like, where did I go?
Yeah, you're still here. I just took the video off.
No, they'll sanction them. They'll pull them aside. You know, they'll debar them. They'll make their lives miserable. They'll, and I believe it's also an exchange. This guy wins this week. This guy wins next week as attorneys, not as clients.
Yeah, and the client essentially, I mean, the client is essentially, this is what makes me so angry about the attorneys, is because they're not telling you, they're doing it for you majority of the time. They're doing it for you without you even knowing, and you can't literally go into that knowingly and voluntarily and willfully and it be legit. That's illegal. They essentially are, I mean, they're committing a crime when they're literally going with the other attorney, having a talk with them, making an agreement without you even being included.
Or hearing the conversation.
I mean, if you're not even hearing the conversation, you can't be like, how can you go into negotiation or mediation, essentially, if you're not even a part of it?
Well, Becca, it's sort of the same way that they can go have hearings while I'm on a medical leavable blood clot, which, by the way, guys, I just found in my case today, Second Court of Appeals as a rule, blood clots are a reason for staying matters.
Oh, good. Good for you, man.
So, I don't know if you had a chance, but I did file today. I did give Tiffany and Darren copies of what I've done. And again, it's pretty in-depth, guys. I really break it apart 100%. I'm not a fucking state employee. I'm not going to the freaking HR department to get my modifications underneath the American Disabilities Act. And I even flushed out a little bit, as these people are not even bar attorneys. So who are they to give a legal opinion? Like his claim was I didn't give him certification of everyone in every case, every 5 cases, 6 cases, or 13 cases, whatever it is, that are alive and active. And that's including, you know, appeals, and I have clocks running on that, and, you know, things like that. So it's crazy.
The last time I was in court, I think it was 2021, my lawyer said, I represent you, Tiffany, but you have to do this.
That's what mine said.
I said, okay. But here's the thing. They were pissing me off. So I did start running my mouth. Right? Like, no, 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 we're not doing that. But she already knew. She went into this meeting with now my new attorney and was like, Grandma's not signing nothing. Grandma knows her rights. Grandma's not going to comply. Grandma's not going to consent. Grandma's not doing nothing. I'm telling you now, don't even ask her. But she knew,
They
right? She knew.
they definitely know how to speed up the system so that it benefits them, not you. You cannot have your merits heard because the system wants to go so fast.
Yep, and essentially that's why they do that with even CPS cases and parents, because they're trying to just fast track everything and make it so they can have their issues just taken care of, and here we go. Okay, here this yep, we're just going to skip the trial and do all this, because they don't have to, prove it. I mean, essentially when they do that for you, they just took all sorts of rights away from you as a parent. Like, they don't realize, I mean, I know they realize what damage they're doing, and I just don't think that they really give a shit, to be honest.
Do you think it has anything to do with their surety bonds that they have on the cases? That
Oh my God.
It only pays so much and they have to get it done quick?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with essentially that. I just think that that's how they filter kids through the system, and that's how they just fast track it. I mean, because they don't care about that kind of. I mean, they all get Title IV funding. Okay, the judge receives some form of payment from the Title IV funding, and this is a fact to be known. They do. Like, it may not be directly from them, but getting something out of that Title IV funding. Because if they make specific certain rulings, like that place the kids at that there was reasonable efforts, and that there was no restrictive the means on how they were removal, reasonable efforts and then removal issues. Yeah, but there's literally two things that they have to put in the order to remove them to qualify for foster care and to get qualification and money for foster care. And if those two things are in that order, they get the money. Well, the judge plays a part in that. So they're essentially the judge is getting something out of it, regardless. Because CPS, the prosecuting attorney, I mean, all of them, they're all getting something out of it. So I just think it's more or less just for the funding and how many, because they have a quota they have to make. Like Darren said the other day, they have a quota they have to make every month. And they're just going to put kids in there just because, for petty reasons, shits and gigs. And that's how they do it. And then the parents are sitting here like, what happened? Like, I had all this evidence. I had, and they're all like, what's her face? Literally sat Michelle from where'd Tiff go?
I don't know where she went.
Last night, Michelle was on here, and her computer must have died. Michelle was on here, and she said that she literally texted me today and said that I guess she got notification from her daughter's place of where. Darren, what are you doing? You're messing with everything. Like, she got notification that her daughter was going to this counseling center, but then on there it said something about the fact that it was due to the mother's drug use and all of this other stuff. And she's like, they literally said that. And I'm like, because I literally text her back one word. I said, stipulation. Okay? Because it doesn't matter if you have all these other contradictory evidence to what they're saying. When that attorney stipulated for you, or you did it willingly, knowingly, and intelligently, those are the facts. Those are now the facts. So even later on, when you're like, well, wait, I have evidence that contradicts that, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It has been placed as irrelevant. And that's the problem. And parents don't understand why. And I'm like, that is why, because it's treated everything that CPS alleged as fact. And now, even though it's not true, and even though you have contradictory evidence, and your attorneys, you're sitting here handing it to your attorney, and your attorney's like shoving it up his ass because he don't have nothing to do with it. He can't do anything with it. Essentially, he's literally got papers and files and all this, but he can't do anything with it because he already agreed that all this is true. So how is he? So then that will screw his credibility, essentially, of not being able. He's going to be like, oh well, here's my client's contradictory evidence to the fact. Well, you already agreed and you already said that your client did this. So now your word isn't good anymore.
So, I had my daughter pull her case file. It's this thick. I'm looking through it. My husband's looking through it. He said, "Look at this. These fools put on paper that they had my one grandson in custody. Okay?
Oh.
They did not have him in physical custody. They couldn't find him. So guess what she got after the case was closed? She got a letter from child support stating that her and the father owed the money to the state. Because let me tell you what happens. The minute a child is physically taken into custody like they said he was, they send a little letter to the grant department, the Title IV-E, and say, oh, we have a child in custody. At the time he was 18 months old. So this child's going to need diapers, formula, a crib, whatever they thought he was going to need. So why did you lie? So once child support found out that they didn't have the child in custody, who paid the money back? Because they didn't pay it.
Mm-hmm.
The state didn't pay it back. So they lie. I have proof of it.
And here's the even bigger kicker. So okay, so say you get food stamps, right? Okay, here's an even bigger one. This happened to me because so before my husband got his job and we was on food stamps, they had over allotted me money. And when I said, okay, but it wasn't of any fault of mine because they hadn't used my income. They didn't have it in there as something to help evaluate how much money that I would get in food stamps, right? They didn't, it was their error. They even admitted it was their error, but it was still on me to pay it back. Wait a minute here. That's not my fault. So then they ended up sanctioning me for a few months, 6 months after that, and took so much of what I was then getting out that month, and putting it back towards that. But how is it when it's not my fault? Am I responsible for that? They should be responsible for that. That was on them, and they even admitted it was on them. But it says in the contract, if you read the freaking contract, which nobody ever reads, everybody just fills out the paper, signs it, puts it. But I went back through and I checked the contract, and it sure shit does say that you are mandated if it is. It does not matter whose fault it is. If it is your fault or the agency's fault, you are the one that is responsible for it. That's crazy. That is freaking crazy to me.
It's a tactic they use on disabled people too.
It's just crazy to me. It makes no sense.
So why ain't we chasing out the False Claims Act? Why ain't we chasing out the new office that you could report all these frauds to?
Well, because the new office isn't up yet, because I checked.
Okay, by statute, it should have been as of the 6th of June. So technically,
they don't have a website. Okay, let me tell you that they don't have a website. I know that because I can't find it because I looked. Because I was like, oh, where can I go to make this complaint? Whatever. Because somebody that
I think you can do it right through the DOJ because it's a division of the DOJ.
Well, and I checked the DOJ's website, but I couldn't find anything on the DOJ's website.
No, I think you'd have to actually call the DOJ. I'd actually do the ADA hotline, try to tie it in as an ADA factor because they staff that line. Again, I don't know. But I am happy. Today, guys, I got into my emails for the first time in 40 days or roughly thereabouts. And I did find from HHS OCR requesting more information in regards to Nathan's education that was stolen from him during COVID times. And again, because he was disabled, the town I live in believes they can just outsource all kids with intellectual disabilities. And it's wrong because they're grouping them together with other kids similar and the same or worse. There's no peer models. There is no peer mentoring. There is no activities. There is no social interaction that would be typical. So I'm happy about that. But again, I can only do so much fighting, man. My leg is killing me so bad today. It ain't even funny for
Do you have
being
you
up.
on blood thinners?
Oh yeah, that's what's killing me.
The Coumadin? Oh my god, or warfarin, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah, it's a red pill. That's all. They got me on all kinds of crazy crap.
Now, I'm surprised they didn't put you on Lovenox shots. That's what they did to me when I had, because I had blood clots in my lungs. I had DVT in my, and it ended up leaving my leg and going and hitting my lungs. And after I had my second kid, and then at the next pregnancy, they put me on Lovenox shots to make sure that my blood wasn't gonna do whatever it did then to stop it from getting another clot. Because of course I had to have a C-section, so I had all 3 C-sections, so I was more at risk for clots. But those Lovenox shots are, whew, those will get you going.
They put me on it because of the knee brace I was using, the 4 straps. I made them too tight and cut off the circulation, because otherwise, if you don't make it tight, the stupid thing falls down.
Henry, then get a different size.
Well, I was supposedly a custom fit, stupid, very expensive knee brace that I had for 3 months, 4 months, and it fucked me up.
So you gave yourself a blood clot. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, no, I don't want a knee replacement, so I'm trying to do everything to spare off a knee replacement.
Oh Lord! All right,
get the damn knee
James.
replacement. Go get the damn knee replacement. You sound just like my freaking dad.
So just so you all know, that Department of Education was split up again today, and Department of Health and Human Services is taking over the special ed and IEP division.
Human services, it makes sense to be in human services.
Fuck my life.
And some other part of it is going to the DOJ. I'll have to watch the 11 o'clock news. I missed it. It was on our 5 o'clock news.
Thank you for telling us that, though. But it kind of does make sense. It is life skills that these kids with disabilities are learning. And again, it's part of human services where they're supposed to get it down young, up to age 21. And those skills, like other kids, are supposed to carry them through the rest of their life.
Yeah, well, it's being moved. So Department of Health and Human Services are taking over special ed and IEPs.
So what does that mean? I mean, essentially, does that mean that it's going to be better or be a shit show and be worse? Because right now it ain't the greatest. Let me tell you, because these people don't even know their ass from a hole in the ground. I literally have been waiting to hear back from my principal, because they said that Mason was his placement was changed because he was suspended. Well, then they put him in a it's called the stadium program, to where he doesn't go with regular interactions with the regular kids. So I asked him when he was reported to go to when he was mandated to go to summer school, I said, is he allowed on the property? Like, you told me he wasn't allowed on the property. So how am I supposed to know? You know what the principal did? I emailed him, and he knows I will not answer the phone. He knows I will not answer the phone. He had somebody else. He read my email and had somebody else call me from the school and literally left a voicemail on because I didn't answer it. I was like, I ain't answering that. No. I was like, because I have call screening, and I looked at it and it said that it was Troy High School. I was like, not answering that one. And it was somebody else that had called me to inform me that it was okay for Mason to be on the property. So, but you know what you're doing, but they will not. No written communication. They have stopped written communication. And I haven't heard back from them since February. And that was even, I keep asking them to clarify whether his placement was due to behaviors, and if it would, because it has been determined that his behaviors are a manifestation of his disability. So now they have to justify whether his placement was a behavioral issue with discipline, if it was a disciplinary placement, or if it was what was the other one? A disciplinary placement, or if it was if it was done because of his IEP, because of his needs. And they can't justify
failure of a BCBA report, failure of that's applied behavior analysis.
They haven't even done a behavioral. An FBA.
I would be filing complaints at the federal level immediately.
Oh yeah, and they already know that they are, because I have all their evidence. I even have the director of pupil services who's over the IEP thing at the school. I've even emailed her like multiple times, and they gave me an IEE at state's expense.
Have you asked for the designated responsible employee plus the 504 officer? 2 different positions, 2 different means.
No.
You want to know? You want to know who the 504 officer is for the school? That's going to cover the education piece, and the ADA is going to cover the inclusion.
So we're wrapping it up, guys. Got 1 minute left.
Is that it?
Our boss said that was it. He said to wrap it up.
Yeah, that's it. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place.
Got your bullshit detector on.
Yeah, it's been on for a minute. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Down in the trenches where the papers get signed, they come for your babies in the dead of the night. No warrant, no warning, just a knock on the door. Say your kids ain't yours anymore. But out on the airwaves, a voice cuts through the lies. Tiffany rising with fire in her eyes. Beside her stands the Punisher, fists clenched tight, screaming truth into the dead of night. Hey, hey, Tiff and the Punisher, angry citizen, riding shotgun too. They're taking on the system that's stealing our youth. Shining light where the shadows abuse. From Maine to the heartland, the word's getting out. You don't have to bow, you can stand up and shout. Tiff and the Punisher, angry citizen crew, fighting for the families, fighting for you. They break down the cases, they read you your rights. 4th and 14th, in the heat of the fight, no more silent tears while the courts play their game. These warriors are calling it all by name. Corruption in foster care, judges on the tape, they're pulling back curtains, making the system shake. One podcast, one mic, one furious stand for every stolen child across this land. Hey, 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 Tiff and the Punisher, angry citizen, bring in the truth. They're taking on the system that's breaking our home.
Childhood, growing and developing years of a person. This is meant to be a highly important time to create morals, fundamentals, and skills necessary to be a success. Instead, the trauma CPS creates in these young minds set a path of disaster, and statistics prove it. In nearly 90% of their cases, the trauma is unnecessary. Time is the one thing that can never be given back. CPS takes away moments in life that can't be replaced. The time just keeps going, doesn't mean a thing anymore. They left as children, and it's up to them when they come home if they know who you are. Each second away is time you will never get back and keep getting older.
Studies are leading towards incarceration.
Now comes the honorable judge in the halls of justice, where the Constitution
will hold strong, and your rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness will trample CPS for all they have done to your child.
The truth and corruption that's revealed to you is enough to make you sick. This is not America we were sold.
Children are being taken from families at the rate of 1 a minute. It needs to be stopped.
It's time to wake up and abolish CPS.
We know it's all about the money. We know they lie. We know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?